What's up everyone, Sean here, and today in this video I'm going to be sharing my first impressions on Call of Duty Ghosts. One of the huge titles of the year, and especially around these, holidays, right around where Thanksgiving is pretty much, for the PS4 and the Xbox One as well, but in this case I played it on the PS4 of course. And well, let's just get this over with while I have some Call of Duty Ghost gameplay footage playing in the background. Managed to capture that using a new setup. So if you want to take a look at how I did it, I'll put a link in the description of a video of showing you how to do it. But anyways, let's get to it. So pretty much right off the bat, overall, my first impression on Ghost is really it's really mixed in a way, because there were things that did do right, I guess, but there's just so many negatives that I don't know. I guess it's not that mixed really, but I don't know. I really do have mixed feelings for it. But yeah, I'll first off I'll get the good sides out of the way. So first off, for the good side is, well, the campaign is pretty decent. So far anyway, I uploaded a first part of our playthrough, and I was playing with Corey, by the way. And yeah, I mean, so far it's a pretty decent campaign mode so far, especially when you compare it to Battlefield 4. We played that as well, but we didn't record that at the time because we couldn't capture it. And that one is a little more underwhelming because of the lack of a solid, memorable story. I mean, there are some good moments, but in Call of Duty, it tends to be a more memorable because of the way it just plays out in the story and all that stuff. And although the story is really basic, but it's for some reason a lot more memorable. I mean, it's Call of Duty after all. They tend to have very overall solid campaign modes, and it's kind of weird that people kind of just neglect them and then just go straight into multiplayer. I always I always go into campaign mode and then go play multiplayer, because for me, playing campaign mode just kind of gives you an idea of what it's going to be like, especially with the guns. Well, I mean, sort of. They get changed up in multiplayer just for the sake of balancing all that stuff. But anyways, it just gives you some kind of idea, and especially with the maps. So that's just me. Next thing on the good side is, well, the netcode is actually, yeah, it's pretty decent, and I managed to actually had a good time with the online multiplayer because of the netcode. Shooting people actually felt effective, I guess. The bullets felt effective, and it wasn't like it was definitely a lot better than, let's say, Black Ops 2, which was horrible at the first, and it pretty much still is, which is pretty fucking sad. Treyarch is just not on the ball at the for Black Ops 2 for some odd reason, but whatever. And pretty much the last one for the good side, kind of sad really, is Cranked mode, which is a new game mode in multiplayer. It's in the public playlist. Cranked is basically team deathmatch, except when you kill someone, you go into Cranked mode, which means you're powered up. You go faster, you reload faster, and all that stuff. And you have to keep killing and killing, because if you don't within a certain amount of time, you blow up and die, and you lose. Well, that's how you lose pretty much if you do that too much, I think. Or it just goes with the standard team deathmatch rules, where it goes up to 75 kills or maybe 100, but I don't remember that much. Yeah, that's pretty much it for the good sides. Cranked mode was, yeah, it's pretty fun. It's sort of a way to level up even faster, but I'll explain that a little more later, and you'll know why. So yeah, on to the bad side. So right off the bat, it really does feel like Modern Warfare 3, and it overall didn't really bring anything new into the the franchise. And what I mean is, like, well, Ghost doesn't really leave a memorable impression. Modern Warfare 3 did the whole thing where you have assault kill streaks and support kill streaks and specialist kill streaks, and yeah, that's where it started. Modern Warfare 3. Black Ops 2 did the whole thing with score streaks and the 10-point system, and that was really cool in concept. But too bad the online quality was terrible, so that really just brought it down for me when it came to being motivated to to kind of play it compared to, let's say, Modern Warfare 3. Yeah, like Ghost really does feel like Modern Warfare 3. It has the assault, support, and specialist kill streaks back in there, and not only that, it has a I believe it's a 12-point perk system when you're customizing your loadout. So it does feel like you Black Ops 2 when you're changing around your loadout. And yeah, so it's kind of like a mixture, really, in Ghost. And Ghost doesn't have really anything new to offer, really. I mean, it's pretty disappointing, really. And speaking of the loadout, I didn't really figure that out until I had to look up in Call of Duty wiki. And so at first, the whole changing the loadout, and especially with the perks, was really confusing because there wasn't any indicator in there, so I had no idea what was going on. I was like, so how many perks can I put in there? And there wasn't any indicator of some sort, unless I'm looking in the wrong place or something. It was just confusing, and it's just okay, I guess I'll just go with this and stuff like that. And yeah, and another thing about putting stuff into your loadout is that the way you get new stuff is kind of a little more difficult because like I said before, leveling up takes a long time for some reason, and it really is hard to explain without bringing in stuff that I'm gonna explain later. But anyways, you get guns by squad points, and I'm not exactly sure how you get squad points, but I know you just get it for sure by leveling up, which takes a long time. But I think you do that by also completing field orders, which is where you pick up a blue floating briefcase on the battlefield, and and then during online multiplayer, and you pick them up, and you have to complete them in order to get extra experience and probably squad points as well. But the thing about it is that if you don't complete it and you get killed, that field order is gone. So yeah, that makes it a little more difficult to level up. And and challenges are gone, so that means you can't get extra XP to level up faster. So yeah, that kind of sucks. There are a lot of factors as to why leveling up is quite difficult, and which I'll explain later. Next thing, the kill streaks. There's this whole controversy going on with the dog kill streak, because let's get to it. First off, the dog is obtained after 5 kills, and it doesn't really exactly work how you want it, so it's sort of difficult to use it. I mean, it's AI controlled, sure, but it's not really that responsive how you want it to respond. For example, you're going around and looking for an enemy. The dog barks, and the barking gives away your position, so they know you're coming and they're ready. But you don't know where they exactly are. So, and they actually get to kill you or manage to kill you, and the dog bites them to death after the fact that you died. So that happened to me, a couple of times, and it's pretty frustrating. So I mean, I really thought the dog was gonna be like a more of a guardian, really, but it was just like it's sort of a death streak. It felt like, because every time I died, the dog would react how it should have react, instead of the dog killing the enemy, and then you're just like, okay, cool, I got protection. But when you're the receiving end of the dog's bite, it's like you're shooting at the dog, but all of a sudden the dog has this like commando lunge, which means you're shooting at the dog at a distance, but all of a sudden it just appears right in front of you and bites your face off, and pretty much you're dead. And that really frustrates people, including myself. So it really is like, it's like a mess when it comes to the dog kill streak. And well, getting kill streaks is actually pretty difficult, and I'm about to explain why, or at least one of the factors as to why is getting kill streaks so difficult. Next thing that's bad is, well, the large maps. There are a lot more large maps, and these maps are just crazy. They're just like a fucking mess, really. I mean, there's a whole bunch of ups and downs, and all these little holes you can get through, and it's like a honeycomb, or just something. I mean, there's like it really is a mess. I can't really sort of explain it any simpler than that. It's just, there's so many flanking points, and in like a lot of maps you just wind up getting lost. And I mean, there are some good maps in multiplayer, such as I think it's called Stonehaven, the one with like this like castle and the windmills on fire, and it's like this green plains, and like all these like all these like demolished castles and stuff like that, and just one big castle, and it's relatively flat, and it's like a large map. But because it's relatively flat, there's not a whole lot of nooks and crannies to go through. So it's more of a standard map in Call of Duty than anything else. And another one that I like is the one with the gas station. I completely forgot what it was called, but yeah, that one's sort of like Stonehaven, but it's a lot smaller, and it doesn't have those like crazy nooks and crannies like I said before. And that's about it for maps, from what I remember. I didn't get to play the free fall map yet. It's a bonus map, so you can like get it for free via code. I did download it and install it, but I didn't get to actually play it yet. So first impressions, right? So anyways, yeah, the maps are just large, and I hope they're coming out with smaller maps. Maybe in DLC, I don't know, perhaps. And because the maps are so big, you get isolated, and there's no place to have those huge gunfights, except for the maps that I mentioned before, pretty much. And like I said before about the kill streaks, it's harder to get kill streaks because you don't kill as many people in a few seconds or whatever. Because the maps are just so big and people get lost, so it really ruins the pacing of Call of Duty and what it's supposed to be. Call of Duty is supposed to be fast. It's supposed to be chaotic, arcadish. It's supposed to be something with a lot going on at once. And it, unlike Battlefield is a little more slower. It tends to be more tense, but it's slower. Comparing to Call of Duty anyway, and because of these maps, it just ruins the pacing. And because of these maps, it's harder to get those higher end kill streaks. Another thing to really mention, I almost forgot to do that. The respawns are fucking horrible right now, and because of these large maps. I'm just going back to these large maps. It really makes this Call of Duty title, that much more disappointing. And yeah, the respawns just like. They're so bad to the point where I respawned where there's a whole bunch of enemies respawning at once, and I got a whole bunch of kills just by just because of a bad respawns. It was bad for them, but you know, it was good for me. But yeah, bad respawns are in that game, so hopefully that gets fixed in the future. But yeah, right now respawns are fucking terrible. I forgot to mention about one thing that happened that has to do with kill streaks, and the care packages are gone from your regular lineup of kill streaks. What you have to do to get care packages is to complete field orders, and like I said before, they're kind of difficult to complete because you lose them once you after you die. And once you actually do complete those field orders, you get a care package, and then you still have to throw the smoke, and the care package comes in. But the thing is about care packages is that now the pretty much, I believe it's the highest end kill streak, which is the nuke. Yeah, you get nukes and care packages, so that's pretty crazy. And this one is called the KEM strike or the Chem strike, something like that. It really is. It pretty much is a nuke. Because yeah, I got it in the care package, and I was like, okay, well, I'm gonna activate this. I don't know. I have no idea what it is. And there was the countdown, and I was like, wait a minute, what the fuck is going on? And everything just there's this huge explosion, and everything just changed colors into like this more orange tinge, and like, oh my gosh, and then I just realized, wait a minute, this is a fucking nuke. I got the nuke from the care package, not getting 25 consecutive kills, just from a care package. So it's really ridiculous, you know, with this Call of Duty. And it really is a mess right now. I mean, overall, it's such a mess that it's just scrambling my mind right now, just trying to think about this Call of Duty title. Oh my gosh. And I guess I'll just mention another thing that's considered a bad side for me, and is that the multiple selection of characters for multiplayer. And what I mean is that, you know, you could be a female character, you could be a male character, and there's like a whole bunch of characters with like different names and stuff, and you can rename them and all that stuff. But when you get a new character, they don't they're not the same level as the characters that you've been using. So for example, I've been using the first character, which is a female character, and she's level 16. So when you get a new character, they start at level 1. So that means you have to get all the unlockables again and all that stuff. And yeah, it's pretty ridiculous. So forgot to mention another thing. When you level up, you unlock perks, so you don't have to get squad points to get perks. Although you can, if you want to, you get if you want a certain perk earlier, you could accumulate squad points and unlock them that way. Unfortunately, you have to get everything else with squad points, so that includes guns, the attachments, the equipment, even the launchers, you know, like the RPGs and all that stuff. You have to get it with the squad points, and same with kill streaks as well. So you're gonna have a much harder time to unlock all this stuff all at once. You know, it's like previous Call of Duty titles was always rewarding you with something every time you leveled up, and you just like, wow, man, it feels good to get all this stuff by leveling up. Even just by one. You always get like 3 things or something like that, but I don't know. Yeah, this one, you don't get as much stuff, and it's just a lot more motivating that way. And yeah, it makes me disappointed that much more. So anything else to mention? No, that's pretty much it. I only played campaign and the multiplayer. I haven't played squads nor the extinction mode. So yeah, this is just a first impressions one. So I'll give it some more time and see if my opinion changes. But that pretty much wraps up for my first impressions overall. it really is a disappointment, you know, and I was looking forward to it, you know, and and I was hoping to have a Call of Duty with, you know, a lot of things fixed up, you know, but it just turned out to be pretty much a mess. It really feels like a mess. So, and also, you know, Ghosts really is it really feels like also a copy and paste game that, you know, all the Call of Duty haters always say about. And yeah, it really does feel like it that way, and yeah, that's really unfortunate. So yeah, sorry if my mind is starting to become, you know, really incoherent and all that stuff. It really just messes with my mind, and that's how it really is a mess. So bad that it just, yeah, messes with my brain. So I'm gonna stop talking about it, and yeah, that's pretty much my first impressions, and that wraps it up for this video. So hope you guys enjoyed it, and if you have any, you know, comments or anything to say about Call of Duty Ghosts, leave it down in the comments, and I'll take a look at it and maybe respond to them. And if you want to see more videos, hit that subscribe button. And yeah, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Sean out.